Hi to my family out there. We are doing lesson 33, session 2, partitioning shapes into equal parts. So on page 743, it says Brett folded a piece of paper 3 times as shown. He then colored 1/4 of the total area of the paper red. How could he have colored his paper? Explain how you know your way is right. So feel free to pause it and try it on your own or to do it with me. So I'm going to pretend that this is the same piece of paper that he's using and pretend again it's all equal. So he's folding it 3 times. 1, 2, and now 3. Now he's going to color 1/4 of this red. So if you can see, there is a line down the center as well, and then there's all of those pieces. So go ahead and see how you think he would do that. Now, I've drawn this on my board, and he can do it 2 ways. He could have drawn, he could have colored in the top row, that's 1/4, or he could color just any 2 random pieces. Those are both 1/4. Red. I'm using black, but he used red. So if you turn the page on 744, it says you can act out the problem and make a model, which is what I did. Fold a piece of paper in half 3 times as Brett did. 1, 2, and 3. Unfold it. This is what the paper looks like divided into equal parts. Again, pretend that mine is equal. You can use the equivalent fractions to solve the problem. The paper has 8 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Think of a fraction equivalent to 1/4 to help solve the problem. You can compare numbers using less than, greater than, or equal to. Since your fraction will be equivalent to 1/4, you can compare the fraction using the equal sign. So on page 745, number 1, how many equal parts are on the paper? Well, we already answered that. There are 8 equal parts. How many in one row? How many parts are in one row? Row, like a rowboat? There's 2. That little squiggly line is just for the words in between. Suppose Brett colors 1 row. What fraction of the paper does he color? Well, if you look just in the rows, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. He colors in 1/4. Now it says, what fraction of the paper is not colored? Or he colors in 1/4, which is also equivalent to 2/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 pieces. So if he colors in 2/8, then what fraction is not colored is 3/4 or 6/8. However you decide to look at it, whether it's 4ths or 8ths. Now it says use less than, greater than, or equal to compare the fraction of the paper that is colored and the fraction that is not colored. So it would look like this. Not colored is less than the amount that is, or I'm sorry, the amount that is colored is less than the amount that is not. So he colored in maybe these 2, like I did in my example up here. 2/8 is less than 6/8. 2, 4, 6. Number 2, what fraction of the paper is 1 row? Well, I already told you, a fraction that represents the whole row is 1/4. If you don't say 2/8, you want to simplify fractions if you can. So that means you want to put them in the, give them the lowest denominator possible, which is 4ths. So it's easier to say 1/4 as opposed to saying 2/8. So that is simplified. Number 3, does Brett color 1/4 of the area of the paper? Use your answers above to explain. Yes, he does. So number 3 is yes, because 2/8 is equivalent to 1/4. So yes, he does. How else could Brett have colored 1/4 of the paper? So I gave you these two examples, but number 4, he could have done 1, 2, 3. He could have colored maybe this one and this one, like right next to each other. So just give another example of how he could have colored it. Number 5, to color 1/4 of the paper, must Brett color parts that are next to each other? Explain. What do you think? No, he doesn't have to color it because each one has an equal part. They're all equal parts. So as long as he colors in 2 of those equal parts or 1/4, it doesn't matter. They're all the same size. So number 5 is no. No, because all the 8 parts are equal. Big elephants can always understand small elephants because all 8 parts are equal. He colors 2, right, equal to 2/8, which is equal to 1/4. So it's like having a pizza. If you have 8 slices and then you have one at a time, and then people come along and eat other ones that are next to it, but then you have another one, you've had 2 of those 8 pieces. You've had 1 of the 4th of the pizza. So it doesn't matter if they're right next to it or not. Number 6, look back at your try it strategies. What works better for you? Is it folding the paper? Does that help you? Or is it drawing it out? So just thinking about strategies and what works for you. It's just so you can be mindful and find the strategies that work best for you as a mathematician. So I'm turning the page. I'm on page 746. At the top, it says apply it. You're going to be dividing this rectangle into 8 equal parts. What fraction of the total area of the rectangle is each part? So it's unit fractions. Again, that's just one of those pieces. So let me erase this, copy it down if you need to. Before it's gone. All right, so divide the rectangle into 8 equal parts. So here's number 7. I'm going to draw my rectangle 8 equal parts. If I'm making it into 8 parts, just like I did with the number line, I'm going to have 7 lines. So I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there are my 8 equal parts. What fraction of the total area of the rectangle is each part? So each one of these, there's 8 pieces in the whole. Each one of these is 1/8. That's it. Number 8. Show a different way to divide the rectangle from problem 7 into 8 equal parts. What fraction of the total area is the rectangle in each part? So I'm going to draw the same rectangle and I'm going to divide it into 8 equal parts. One of these is 1 out of the 8. So each one is a unit fraction. It's a unit, it's a piece. It's like, think of like an apartment complex. It's a huge building, but in each one is considered its own unit. Okay? Number 9, each shape is divided into equal parts. Which shapes show 1/2 of the area shaded? So letter A has a rectangle with 8 pieces, and 2 are colored in. So that's letter A. So A would be 2/8. That's not 1/2. Letter B has 1 out of the 2 pieces, so that would be correct. Letter C has a circle cut into 3 pieces, and 1 out of those 3 is colored in, so it's not A, it's not C. How about D? D has 4 pieces and 2 are colored in, and we know that 2/4 is equivalent to 1/2, so D is correct. E and F. E has 6 pieces and 2 are colored in. 2 is not half of 6, so that is not correct. F has 2, 4, 6, 8 pieces, and 4 of those. 4 is half of 8. So the correct answer for number 9 is B, D, and F. Those are 1/2. So all those pieces are equivalent to 1/2. Okay, number 8 has, or I'm sorry, page number 747. It's the green, it's the practice pages. I'm gonna erase my work on my board, and we're gonna continue on with partitioning shapes. Remember, partition just means a fancy way of breaking shapes into different pieces. So number 1, how many equal parts are in rectangle A? So A is right next door to the words. So how many equal parts are there? Well, there's 3 and 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. There's 6 equal parts. How many rows in rectangle A? Well, there were 2 rows. What fraction of the total area of rectangle A is shaded? 1/2. Or there's 6 pieces. 3 of the 6 are shaded. So this is a good visual for you to understand that 3/6 is equivalent to 1/2. So now we're working on that equivalent fractions. Let's see, number 4, use rectangle B to show another way to divide a rectangle into 6 equal parts. So number 4 is showing another way. Well, you can always do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have to have one less than the number of parts. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 parts. What unit fraction into each part? So it's like if I have 1 and you have 1 and we all have 1, we all get 1/6. Number 5. Tell what fraction of the total area of rectangle C is shaded. So fraction C, or excuse me, rectangle C, what fraction is shaded? I have 2 of the 6, or I have 1/2. So it's 2/6 or 1/3. I'm sorry, not 1/2, 1/3. So if I do it just in rows and I ignore that middle line going down, I have 1, 2, 3 pieces, and the middle one is colored in. So this is another equivalent fraction. I apologize. 1/3 is equivalent to 2/6. 1/2 is equivalent to 3/6. So that's your answer for number 5. Turning the page, one more page and we're all done, my friends. Number 6, the octagon. Octagons have 8 sides. Oct means 8. So the octagon is divided into equal parts. What fraction of the total area of the octagon is each part? So number 6, if you have 8 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you're talking about one of those pieces, the unit fraction is 1/8. Number 7, we're going to compare squares x and y. Tell whether each statement is true or false. So here's x and here's y. All right, true or false? 1/2 of shape x is shaded. Yes, that is true. 1/2 of shape y is shaded. False. I'm just gonna put an F for false. The third row says each row of shape x is 1/4 of the whole square. So it says each row of shape x is 1/4 of the whole square. So rows go this way, is 1/4. So is one row 1/4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, there's 4 rows, so that would be true. Number 5, each row of shape y is 1/4 the whole square. So now we're gonna go rows and see if there's 4 of them. 1, 2. No, In Y, the rows are 1/2, so that is false. Now, number 8, divide rectangle S into 4 equal parts, and divide rectangle T into 8 equal parts. So here's S, and here's T. You could do this any which way you want, but I'm going to take S and I'm going to go just simple like that. That's 4 equal parts. And over here, I'm going to do 8 equal parts. So they're fairly similar in how I decided to do that. Number 9, shade 1/4 of each rectangle in problem 8. So I'm going to shade 1/4, 1/4. Now, if I just color in one of these, I've colored in 1/8 because I colored in one of the 8 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But if I consider each column a 4, because there's 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I've colored in one of those 4 columns, 1/4 and 1/4. See that, my friends? Use less than, greater than, or equals to compare the shaded parts in the rectangles in problem 8. 1/4 is equal to 2/8. So I know I didn't do it exactly like it shows. I could have colored in this one and left this one blank, and then hopefully you would see that they're equivalent, assuming they're the same size, right? But I didn't do that. But just so you can visualize it, I'll change it so you can see that 1/4 is equivalent to 2/8. So down in number 10, you should write 1/4. Well, they have it written for you. And then the equal sign is in the circle, and then on the blue dots is 2/8. It's trying to give you a visual that they're equal. Number 11, divide the hexagon into 6 equal triangles. Then shade 1/2 or 1/3 of the area of the hexagon. Tell how you know 1/2 or 1/3 of the area is shaded. So a hexagon has 6 sides, and I'm going to go ahead and draw that now. And I'm recording. What do you need? Oh, nice.
I was trying to get your attention.
Okay, I just have one more
That
thing, and then I'll be done. Divide the hexagon into 6 equal triangles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to draw lines to make, again, pretend it's equal. I'm not the best artist. But we have 6 equal triangles. Then we're going to shade 1/2 or 1/3 of the area of the hexagon. So I'm going to choose 1/2. I'm going to shade 1/2. So there's 1/2. 1/2. As you can see, half is shaded, half is not. Okay. Now I know that 1/2 of it is shaded because if I were to cut it into 2 pieces, it would be right here. And I've colored in one of those 2 pieces. Within that one piece, though, that I've shaded, I could break it down further into 3 more pieces. And I could break this one down into 3 more pieces. These 3 plus these 3 means there are 6. So 1/2 is equivalent to 3/6. So that's what I would say for mine. If you chose to do 1/3, here I'll break it down into those 6 again. And 1/3 would be I'm coloring in 2. So 1 and 2. 2 out of the 6, which is also equivalent to 1/3. So I have those 2 differences right there. Okay, that is the end of lesson 2, or excuse me, lesson 33, session 2. So if you have any questions, let me know. Good job, guys.